What is going on? We're back with another episode of Fight Picks for Dummies. We're recapping the fight of UFC 272, 270,
Yeah, 272.
yeah, 272.
Yeah, what's going on, everyone? So yeah, what a card! Great card. Interesting. Um, we're gonna start off by saying, well, I know that we'll get into the fights, but I know that I went 8-5 on total predictions, and then on a parlay I gave you guys, we went 4-2 again. I believe Chris had some similar stats, so it was just
Yeah.
a. Yeah. But let's break down this first fight with Mikhailo Jacek, and Dustin Jacoby. That was I mean, it's what everyone thought it was going to be on the feet. I mean, that first round, Mikal really set the tone, and it looked like Dustin was kind of nervous in that first round. But so, as the fight grew on, Dustin was able to, really start implementing his game plan and trying to find his shots a little bit better. Came down to, was this was a unanimous decision, right? I think it was, yeah. I believe it was a unanimous decision. Um, I felt like it could have been a split decision or no, I think it was a split decision. I feel like it could have been a draw. I don't know because Mikal, that forward pressure like we talked about, he maintained the center of the octagon and he was hitting Dustin with some heavy shots too. And those body shots he was ripping him with were nasty. So, but I guess you could say it played out the way we thought it was. I mean, I did pick Mikal, not on my parlay, but I picked him on just I predicted him to win the fight. It was a close fight. I'm not mad that Dustin got the win, but yeah. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it was a real close fight. And not too much to say about it, though. I knew that Dustin was going to win that.
All right, we'll move on. Next up, another crusher.
Ludwig Klein. That boy came to fight.
Uh, we had a well, and yeah, that last fight was a unanimous decision for Dustin. That should have been a split decision win for Dustin Jacoby, but that's all right. Now,
Klein,
Ludovic. Go ahead.
Ludovic came to fight. I should have never went with Devontae Smith, and I probably won't again. If it's either other guy or I'm not betting. Um, yeah, he really came through, and he started getting to work.
Yeah, man. I mean, I picked Jamie Malarkey against Devontae Smith as the underdog last fight because of the style, just as far as the styles goes. And they were and Jalen Turner's not Devontae Smith, so we'll get into that later. But I knew Ludovic, Mr. Highlight. He threw a couple head kicks. That's what he does. But it was just a grueling decision. He almost had him wobble one time. Could have finished him, I believe, in the second round. But yeah, I mean, I really felt like Devontae would have coming off that Jamie Malarkey loss, which he did look really good against Malarkey until he didn't. I thought he would be able to, coming in as the bigger guy, would have been able to hold it down. But Ludovic, the only problem with me and Ludovic is like I bet on him 2 times before this fight, and he's blown it. So I don't know. He'll have to show me another one before I put more faith in him. But yeah, that's that. Next, we got this banger of a fight: Tim Elliott versus Gear. Went back off.
Tim Elliott really defended this fight at the end of the day. Tagir came out there looking wild. I don't know what he expected. I think he thought it was sweet, but Tim Elliott really came down and started, he was just on him all 3 rounds. He was on him, and there was nothing that Tagir could have done.
Yeah. So with this fight, I mean, I think we both agreed that Tim Elliott was probably the livest dog on the whole card. That's why I personally stayed away from betting this fight. I did bet the over 2.5 on this, and we of course we got that, that was a gimme all day. But Tim Elliott, I think he took Tagir down like 4 times in the first round. Like he was really flipping the game on him and pressing that pace, that wrestling. Tim Elliott showing like, Tagir may be a Dagestani, but there's levels to this still. The experience caught up. and he just handled the fight like a real vet. Got the job done. I mean, Tim Elliott's that dude, man. But then again, like I said, Tagir is nothing special. And I said this before I picked this fight. Tagir is nothing special. That Nacimiento win, split decision win, was atrocious. So I never even put any real high stock into Tagir anyway. But because he's Dagestan, I guess it's a good win for Tim Elliott. That's, Tagir has a long way to go, by the way, too. I mean, Tagir is he is not shown that he is of the elite at all. So next up, then we have Umar versus Brian Keller.
He ran that.
Ran it.
He
It
is.
was a first round finish. I mean, it was pretty swift. Umar times his takedowns. That's what he does. Waits for the hook, times him, got him down, smothered him, and got the finish. Pretty much what we did expected. Now I did take the over 1.5. I thought Brian would have been able to hold it out a little bit more, but no. Regardless, we did look at this fight as a submission or decision prop for Umar. So there you have that. But yeah, I mean, another slip up. Well, that's the first slip up on that one. On my parlay, that over 1.5 Umar Bryan sucked. But it is what it is. You know, Umar actually, unlike Tagir, Umar really is showing some true potential. Tagir is just there. Sorry, Tagir. But next we had another nice fight. I mean, another dog I picked, underdog that I did take. Granted, I did take her when she was. I think she was minus 200. I did take her, but the odds flipped before the fight, and then she turned to a plus 150. So,
Yeah.
but that's just I stuck with her. I knew that was gonna happen. I knew it was happening. You know that Ukrainian vibe, yo. But that's really not even what I'm gonna get into. I just knew that she was gonna be able to get this to the ground. Much better ground game than Agapova. Agapova's still, a shining prospect. She still has potential. 24 years old. She still has a lot of room to grow. I think she can be a contender one day. But it was Marina Moreau's night, as predicted. Next up, what a weird one. Nico Negamorano versus Kennedy Nchukwu.
He's doing his thing. Nick is doing his thing.
Nick was doing his thing in the clinch exchanges too, but when they were open, Kennedy was that range was just it was overwhelming at times.
Yeah,
But
he had a crazy reach over what, like five.
I'm not gonna lie, this was my underdog pick of the night. I feel like on the feet, Nikolai was getting the range was a little bit too much. But when he was able to get inside, he would land some heavy overhands and he would be able to get that clinch and that control time. Of course, we know about the point that was taken by Kennedy is what it is. The fact that that point did not result in a draw, I don't know. I mean, I guess on the judges' scorecards, without the point, Nikolai was still winning either way. I think it was a really close fight. I think if there was no point taken, it would have been it still would have been a split decision win for Negamorano. But yeah, that's pretty much that. I mean, Kennedy, he still has a lot. That range he can use it, 83-inch reach. I mean, if he can really, which he was using it, but for some reason he has to just get his Muay Thai clinch situations under control because the dude just does not have any wrestling control, and his takedown defense is whack. I mean, he's just so tall. I mean, there's ways you can use that in wrestling exchanges. You can use that leverage. He just doesn't know how to do it. I mean, long way to go. You don't learn how to wrestle overnight. So we're gonna see what happens with Kennedy. I think he did perform well, but it is what it is. It was a close fight. I'll give him that. It was a close fight. I still had it leaning, even without the point. I still had it leaning on Nico by split. But yeah. So that played out the way you thought, pretty much.
Oh yeah.
You did
It's
take
always
Kennedy though. Let's put that on record.
no.
He did take Kennedy.
I
You
threw him
did,
on for a knockout.
but
No, I don't think I took
yeah,
Kennedy.
you
Did I?
did. You did. You said I'm gonna go with Kennedy. That was in the last video. He did end up changing his pick the next day. It's all right.
I don't think that's how it went. I don't remember though.
We'll look at the footage later. It doesn't matter though. We still. I think we did pretty well overall. Marina Rodriguez versus
This was a good
Yan
fight.
Xiaonan. It's a great fight. Go ahead, take it.
They were throwing rockets at one another. Letting it go. This was a really good fight. I think it was a real close fight as well.
It's extremely close.
It could have really went either way, but
I agree.
Rodriguez had just a couple better, hit. Oh, trying to think.
Rodriguez had a nice flurry in the last about 7 minutes, which I think made something on the judges' scorecard. But Yan Xiaonan really was. She was pressing the pace. This is one where I'm on the fence with. I'm glad we got the win for Marina Rodriguez, but I don't know. It was a close fight, man. It could have gone either way. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Yan Xiaonan was putting that pressure on and tagging her too. She did what I expected. I said these were both brawlers. It was gonna be a great fight, but
Yeah.
when I saw that split decision win for Marina, I knew it was well. When I saw the split decision win, I knew it was Marina all day. Next up, this was the crusher for the parlay I had.
This was a good fight.
Well, it was while it lasted, I guess. I mean, Jamie showed he showed heart. I mean, Jalen is a lot bigger than 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 Devontae Smith. We'll put it at that. I mean,
I mean,
the reach was still similar, but that the leg length and just the ability to move around the octagon much faster than Jamie.
for
It played in, and he ended up getting that finish.
for this too, Jalen is just explosive. He was just, there was nothing that Malarkey could have done. He was just getting blasted. Whenever he did get touched, he felt it.
Yeah. So you could definitely see that. I mean, the punches were there was a differential as far as that punching power went. I don't know. We'll see some. We'll see how we fare with Jaden later in the future. He's looking strong. Jamie Malarkey was not a tough test. I mean, the guy's fought the champ. Volkanov, he's fought some great competition. So we'll see how he goes.
Next.
Next was your boy Greg Hardy getting his push back by Sergey. Yeah, I
All I
mean,
could all I
go
could
ahead.
say about this one, there's only one. Jesus Christ, what the
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
this is terrible. I originally I knew at this is what I said at first. I knew he was gonna win, but I was just like, dang, this guy Greg Hardy's from he. I was like, dang, maybe this
He's
guy's
from
gonna do it.
ATT.
Yeah, he's from American Top Team, where in my opinion, lately it's either they knock you out fast or they just get trashed throughout the rest of the bout. That boy Greg Hardy got put on skates. This one was a terrible, terrible look for him, and I understand why he's talking about switching to boxing now, but I don't even think that's a thing.
I don't even think that would be. He's better off. I mean, he's better off
Yeah,
trying to sign with Bellator because I don't. I mean, he might get another fight with the UFC, but that's three TKOs in a row, man. You're just getting smothered by these mixed martial artists. I mean,
he has three. He has a nice leg kick though. He started getting that under control. That thing was looking nice, like a freaking bat hitting you. But the rest of
he
the
has the
game,
physique and the power to do something, but the experience is what caught up with him. As I said, and I didn't put Sergey out the parlay.
that was experience in his gas tank.
Yeah, and the gas tank sucks.
You
I
got by the
didn't.
time he got
Yeah,
thrown, by the time he got thrown on the floor for the fifth time, he just kept getting slammed over and over again. With that consecutively happening, he was just out of it, just trying to get up and then getting put back down over and over again, while getting smothered by a man close to his weight. And it just didn't go his way, but also it just needs to. I don't know. Maybe he just hopped in the UFC too fast.
we'll see. I mean, I think he could have some success at like PFL or Bellator. I think he needs more experience before he steps back in the octagon. So, but it played out the way I believed it was. I mean, just Sergey smothering him. I did have Sergey in this and just in my prediction. I didn't parlay him, but Just because Greg Hardy still does pose a knockout threat at any time, but experience caught up. That's what we saw. Next up, nice fight. We had
My boy Kevin Holland.
mhm. Kevin Holland didn't disappoint tonight. I mean, he was having some trouble in that first round. He was having,
Oh yeah,
he
he did
just
get popped. He got popped out
he
of
was
his mouth a
feeling,
couple of
and
times.
and he got taken down. He was feeling his just trying to feel his way around at this new weight class. We saw him give the thumbs up. Wasn't any danger. That's always nice to see. So, but another big mouth fan. I mean, like we said, Kevin Holland by finish was the way to go
Yeah,
at minus 125. Got that done and you saw Kevin. That's why I chose by finish because Kevin Holland went for that leg lock in the first round, and it looked like he had some form to him, but that's whatever. But Kevin Holland by finish, purple belt in jiu-jitsu, you know, never leave that out. Even that's why sometimes I'll even take Izzy by finish. You'll never know. He might, even though he's never submitted anybody, Izzy's capable of doing that. So keep that in mind. But yeah, I mean, just a nice victory for Kevin Holland. Played out the exact way we thought it would. Kevin Holland by finish. Yeah, well, by knockout, but it happened. That's nothing much to say about that one. That was your lock of the night, I believe.
yeah. No, this is the
Oh, this is the
overall.
open.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Next up, we had Bryce Mitchell
I
versus
was
Edson
gonna go with
Barboza.
Bryce Mitchell at first, but then I was told, I was told otherwise. I knew I should have went with Bryce Mitchell for this one, but it is what it is. Barboza.
Bryce couldn't. The thing is, Bryce is showing something that's kind of similar to the lightweight champ and Charles Oliveira. He just can't defend a certain thing. He like those like even though Charles cannot not get knocked down in a fight. That's how I'm seeing that. And from what I saw with Thug Nasty and Edson Barbosa, Bryce just can't check a leg kick. So I mean, if he wants to be a champion, even though it was a good decision win over Edson. He did what he was supposed to do, get it to the ground and smothered him. A lot of control time. Edson's not a BJJ practitioner. He's a striker. So I guess it's fair to say Edson's on his way out. I mean, and not like completely like he's garbage. I mean, we saw him just finish Shane Burgos, but then you lost value with that Giga Chikadze loss when Giga just got outclassed by Calvin Cater. I mean, I don't know. Edson could be a champion in like Bellator maybe or something like that. I don't even know about that, but or PFL. Maybe he should try that. He should go with Greg Hardy. I think I'm done seeing Edson in the octagon. I'm gonna be honest. I mean,
I'm just gonna start staying away from those bets.
he didn't even show me anything that was reminiscent to the old Edson. So I think he's on his way out. RDA versus Renato Moicano. This was on my parlay. Easy money line. RDA took it all the way. Should have been a fight. Should have been stopped. And I believe it was the third and in the fourth. I mean, just battered Hanato all the way through. I mean, Hanato, respect for him coming out 5 days notice, but that's what I said. I mean, you're not going to get past RDA. It's just it played out the exact way I thought.
Another American top team brother.
Yeah, ATT. That's his
That's not his primary.
no his primary is constrictor, but
Yeah.
you know that's another thing. But see, he lasted with RDA. Respect for him lasting the fight with RDA. I mean,
Yeah, coming out short notice. He did his thing.
maybe we'll have to see what value we can get with Hanato in the future. He's gonna need some time off. He did get beat up. So, but then again, played out exactly how we thought. RDA, Rafael dos Anjos for the main event with Colby Covington or
We
Masvidal.
didn't even waste our time talking about this one because everyone knew what was going to happen. Kobe Covington was going to wash him. George Masvidal, come on, you just got to be serious. The man's not doing anything in this division unless the top two leave.
I want to
Maybe
see.
even not that. Maybe if the top, like majority of people would need to leave. He's 37 now, and he's just, at this point, he's just chilling in there. He's just trying to collect the checks. But this is, everyone knew what was going to happened with this. Kobe Covington covered the fight from start to finish. Just high intensity, barrages of punches. When not when not that, then he was going for the legs, takedowns. There was nothing that Masvidal could have done.
Yeah, you said it, bro. I mean, I wanted to mention this too. That in the in the pre-fight, well, in the press conference, the pre-fight press conference, I think the day before, when they were in the in backstage and they were like maybe about 20 yards apart from each other, Jorge kept just tapping that knee and just like, oh, like yeah, you like dick sniffer, yeah, knee, bro. Jorge, you cannot keep holding on to that knee, bro. This is mixed martial arts. Like it's out the window, bro. I knew Jorge was gonna gas, which he did. He didn't even he wasn't really getting rocked like that in the fifth round, but when he stepped up, your legs were on skates, bro. Your legs were done. They were tired, bro. Jorge, you're not. And I like you, Jorge. I don't know if you'll ever see this or not, but I like you, Jorge. You're just not of that caliber, bro. You're not. I'm sorry. I mean, you got completely outclassed by Kobe, and I know it sucks. I know you're going through it right now because of the issues you guys have, but bro, you need to step up your wrestling, bro. This is mixed martial arts. You cannot keep saying you're training with Bo Nickel and all these wrestlers. I mean, granted, like I said, you will not learn how to wrestle overnight, bro, which is what Jorge's trying to do. But I don't know, bro. You might want to take it to BKFC, to be honest. I mean, if you're gonna, because when you get to these top tier fighters, I mean, and on the feet, you were getting pieced up too. Kobe was piecing you up on the feet, man. Played out the exact way I thought it would. You were adamant about the finish, which I was not. I didn't have a problem with that, but I did see it going the distance overall. So yeah, respect to Jorge Masvidal for taking the fight, and Kobe Cass Covington's the man. I mean, we'll see if he can get in there with Usman again. If Usman doesn't scurry away from Hamza, but we'll see. Overall, if we look at the total fights, let's just go through them real quick. So we were split on this. Chris had Dustin, he got the win. I had Michael O, didn't get it. So that's 0-1 for me, 1-0 for him.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it big.
Then we both. Then I went to 0-2, and he went to 1-1 because we both had Devontae Smith. So that's pretty much that. Hold on 1 second. And then after that, because I was 0-2 after that, I was crazy. After that, we also picked a gear. We turned into one. He turned into 1-2. I turned into 0-3. But if you remember my parlay, I did say take the over 2.5, and we got that. That's what because I knew Tim Elliott was live. Next up, we had Umar. Both of us had Umar. Turned into 1-3, and 2-2 for Chris. Then after that, did you have Morose?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we both had Morose, so that turned into 3-2, and I got to 2-3. And then, even though he claims not to have taken Kennedy,
I don't think I took Kennedy.
and well, you took both of them, but you switched your pick. It's cool though. We'll just say Nick. We'll just say Nico. So that would put me at 3-3. That would put him at 4-2. Marina Rodriguez, again, good pick for us. Moves me to 4-3. Moves him to 5-2. Both of us going with Jamie Malarkey. That was a crusher. Yeah, bro. That puts me at 4-4. And that puts Chris at 4-3 for that. And then we were split on this one again. Sergey Spivak and Greg Hardy. Chris going with Greg Hardy, which is warranted. I could have seen that a finish, but it is what it is. Moves me to 5-4, and then that will move Chris to 4-4. And then both of us going with Kevin Holland all day. Easy money. So 6-4. Chris moves to 5-4. Both of us going with Edson Barbosa.
I knew I should have chose Bryce Mitchell.
So puts me at 6-5, and then that puts Chris at 5-5. And then yeah, both of us had RDA and Kobe Covington. That finishes me off at 8-5, and that finishes Chris off at 7-5. So pretty much the same pretty much picks. Split on 2 fights. Every fight was good and close. And as far as the parlay went, my parlay I gave you guys, Jamie Malarkey did not come through. Nikolai Negamorano came through. Over 1.5 for Umar and Brian Keller did not go through. But the over 2.5 for Tim and Tagir went through. Kobe Covington money line went through. RDA went through money line. 4-2 on the parlay like last week. I'm gonna tighten this up for you guys. You know, I'm gonna get you guys some better bread, but we're staying with winner records. Whole point of that. Any last thoughts, Chris?
Yeah, not really.
Hey, we got a good card coming up with Ankalaev versus Thiago Santos. So that'll be. I feel real confident about this one coming up. I think I can put something together for you guys. You know, we'll consult and see what it's looking like. Yeah, for the most part. But thank you for tuning in for another episode of Fight Picks for Dummies.
Yeah.
This was our recap for
Thanks
UFC
for stopping
272.
by.
Like and subscribe. Yes.
Yep.